Nothing was secure about the evidence room. When Mr. Willingham was discovered, there was evidence in his office.
Crocker went into detail on how people had access to evidence.
Look, that's how I look when I'm going into a doggy bag. Look at him.
This is a real fucking Pooh Bear situation.
Yeah, it is.
It's time to get wild.
That was wild. Welcome to That Was Wild. I'm Adam Macias, and this episode is going to be wild. This is a show where we celebrate the wild sides of life. And this very show, we are celebrating some wild, wild stuff. We're talking about a whole-ass police department that just decided to get abolished. The law said, you are no longer the law. We're going to be talking about a haunted Elmo balloon. And then we're going to talk about one of the wildest people I've ever met out on the internet who commented on my videos recently that I gotta bring him onto the show. But before we get to all of that, I'm going to introduce my very special guest of the week. He's a very funny man. I do a show with him every week, which I do not talk about on this show very often, but I do a show with this man every Wednesday. It's Jon TomaShefsky, everybody.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Oh,
dogs.
That's not a nipple reveal, everybody. That is a logo reveal. That's a merch reveal.
That's for the audio?
That's for the audience, yeah.
Won't you get more hits if you say it was a nipple review?
Ladies and gentlemen, you need a nip. You got to watch the video. We just got a nipple reveal right now.
It's a good one too, right?
Yeah, it's super good.
Describe my nipple in detail.
Hairy, but delicate.
You know, just so our audio listeners know, I didn't actually reveal. However, Adam was spot freaking on.
That's my sixth sense.
Dude, hairy but delicate.
I can tell.
That's how I order my steaks too.
John.
That's happened my whole life. It's totally fine.
Really? People call you Tom?
Yeah, dude. Ralphie made me change my name to Tom for like 6 months.
Yeah, you should do that.
I'm not falling for this again. No, I did it once. So that's it.
Oh, did you?
No, literally, Ralphie Bay told me to change my name to TomaShefsky because he's like Jon TomaShefsky is just too hard for people to remember.
Let me just pick this up. You just drop that name. Here you go. You just
well, I'm not gonna say Frank at Vaughn's in Bakersfield told me to change my name. No, I'm not gonna do it for him. No offense to Frank.
I'm not punching you there. That's the greatest thing about you, John. Is that you have you've been in comedy for a very long time, and you know a lot of fun people. You've been around a lot of fun people like Ralphie May and a lot of other people. So there will be some name droppings every now and then, I think, with your stories. But so Ralphie May told you, hey, change your name to Tom. And that was on his deathbed, he said this?
I feel like next time I tell this story, I'm going to be like, someone that you'd listen to if you were a comic.
I gave you the yips for your name drop.
Yeah. He told me that he was like, you know, that's a hard name. People aren't gonna. It's hard. Americans can't remember that shit. And he told me to freaking.
Yeah.
Didn't you think Ralphie was a woman before you saw him in person?
Oh, 100%.
I thought it was a fat black woman from the South. That's a fat black guy from the South. My God.
He would have been a great drag performer. Shout out. But your show, just so real quickly, Road Dogs is a podcast, also a live show, just like this show.
Yeah.
The shirt that you were showing.
Yeah.
Featured a man named Angelo.
That's right.
Who I knew back in my early baby days of stand-up. Not well, but I had done some shows with him. But that is a man who passed away, very funny man.
Yeah.
Not just some random dude how great, that's what I was thinking. Was like, did this man just find like a random meme online?
Dude.
Does that look like Angelo?
That's still art. Someone could do that.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not going to say that everyone's life doesn't have value. So yeah, you could pick a random person to martyr it on your shirt.
Oh gosh. What I would 100 years from now, my yelling face that's just like, that turns into a meme on somebody's in like shitty art shirt or something like that. Is that
on your vision board right now, Adam? That sounds like something to strive for.
I would love it.
You made an impact.
Listen, some people turn into Beethoven. They got music, or Shakespeare that plays that turn for years and years. I could be a memed face.
You could be a memed face.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, why not?
You as well. You and your nipples.
Who couldn't be a meme face? Tim and Eric helped us see that anybody can be a memed face.
That's true.
If you just catch them in the middle of a blink.
Listen, I don't even want to be famous. I just want to be a meme.
Do you want to be famous?
I want to make enough off of the creating art.
Isn't that an interesting the byproduct situation there? Where you're like, well, do you not necessarily want to be famous? I just don't want to have a day job, and I want to do stand up.
I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to go to the gym, like a normal gym, or like go to the street, go to the street.
Yeah,
I want to be able to go to the street and not be accosted.
Is that still there for comedy? Like, is there a middle class in comedy?
Well, because the hustle is so strong that you have to reach out to your fans. That it's just like a buckshot. Like enough people will have seen your face eventually. Yeah. I like, speaking of the gym, I one time went to the gym and I saw Fred Armisen there and I immediately tweeted it. I was like, Fred Armisen's at my gym. Yeah. And he was pissed. I'm sure he was mad because he saw me. He had his hoodie on. He still had he was wearing aviators in an indoor gym. It like couldn't look any more
like a Puerto Rican Unabomber.
He looked like the Unabomber for sure. But I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. What about you? Do you want to be famous?
No, I want the validation of like my loved ones and people that actually like, my podcast or my stand up or whatever else.
Yes.
Like that, I definitely need outside validation to an unhealthy level. But the fame thing is so just like, it seems like only trouble.
Yeah. Yes.
Like it seems like some people want to ride that wave and that's like their fantasy. But it's like, I'm married, so I'm not looking to be like, I want to have babies all over the country like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles. Like, I don't need any of that,
Famous bastard
Famous
makers.
Bastard Children. Hashtag, that's my band. Don't you steal it now. That's my band. Famous Bastard Children.
That's great.
Dude, that's also, it sounds like a gene brand.
Famous Bastard Children is a cooler way of saying Nepo baby.
Nepo baby. That's right. That's for the late show. But yeah, I don't think I don't think it sounds like fun. Like I'm much more like, I have a little bit of an introvert side, like keep me to like 10,000 people or less. Okay.
I'm an introvert. I just want 10,000 people to I just want 10,000 friends.
I mean overall from like subscribers to your Patreon. People that go to the YouTube for Road Dogs and subscribe like you will right now.
All right, calm down. It's not plugs yet.
You have to plug. We got to plug. They've already loved the interview.
We already got the merch already.
If I don't see 100 new subscribers after this podcast, I'm only coming back on it 10 more times. I'm just saying. No, dude, I think there's too much trouble that goes along with fame.
Yes.
And I think just I'm just like any other artist. It's like, I just want to like not have to be stressed about like doing other stuff so that I can do the thing I love. But now it's like, can you do that? Or do you have to just be like, I'm Theo Vaughn. I sell out theaters. Because even if you go to like the improvs, which what used to be like a thing for me would be like, oh my God, if you could headline the improvs every week and just fly. They have the best chicken fingers and honey mustard. Literally. And they have so many locations. You just fly around.
The improv circuit would be amazing.
Dude, you stay in decent 4-star hotels or whatever. They're not like super fancy to where you're a jerk. But
listen, I'll stay in a motel. I don't give a
Oh yeah, I have to stay in motels. I mean, sometimes they don't let me stay anywhere. I don't stay at other comics' houses.
I like what I don't want. I don't want the the comedian shacks.
Comedian condo?
Yeah,
the cum-covered comedian condo.
Cum-covered comedian condos.
Nothing works.
For if anybody that doesn't know what those are, they're practically brothels.
Depends how excited you are to be a comic. For me, like I was always like, oh
do
my
not
God,
want that.
I'm a real comedian. I was always excited.
100%. I would sleep in my car. It's practically sleeping on your friend's couch. That's from what I've heard.
But it's like that thing where you're like, dude, I mean, you're in the music too. Like it's like road dogging it. I mean, it's in some of our bloods. Where
but that's the thing. I've slept in I slept in my car.
Oh, yeah.
I've slept in vans.
God, it's the worst. Have you ever had diarrhea sleeping in your car in Oakland in the middle of the night waiting for it because the guy you're supposed to stay with doesn't answer the door, another comic?
I did not.
And you almost have to shit while there's like a trash can fire and like a gang fight going on. And you're like, I'm up against a wall, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's road dog.
I have not done that part of it. So
I have a tattoo that talks about it right here.
You have it a whole
it's
sleeve.
It's the scene. It's a mural.
So you are a road dog then, right? That's what you...
Yeah, but I don't want to be, another comedian that you guys might know of that I will... You don't know their name. They once said like, you're a road comic. I'm an alt comic. I stay in town. You come out. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had comics say weird shit to me.
Yeah.
I was an impressionable young boy when I first started comedy.
So tell me about your podcast, Road Dogs.
Yeah.
So what's that about? Is it mostly just talking about Angelo the whole time or?
No, dude. His spirit's there. Like it feels, so this is just my insanity at my weekend at Bernie's. Because he's been dead for 13 years.
Like,
Zane literally, my shirt's been like this the whole time. Zane literally, like, I think our first or second show for Road Dogs got on stage and killed, by the way, but like was like, what John didn't tell you is that our friend Angelo's been dead for 13 years.
Yeah.
Like you take it to the grave with you when loved ones die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I apologize for just being constantly I have a pillow with his face on it that we have on the podcast.
Oh.
It's like doing comedy together. He's still alive. He's still part of the show.
Yes.
Like, I know it's crazy. I clarified it with his mom. She said it was okay.
You clarified it.
Oh, dude, I totally
Did you clarify it or did you okay it? Because clarify it is just like,
Explain it to her.
This is what I'm doing.
Okay, I reached.
She's like, I'm not okay with it, but I did clarify it.
I reached into my purse and I pulled out the wrong word. Okay, I was like, oh, clarify, I'll do, and then it clearly didn't do. Give me that back.
Okay.
I ran it by her. And I got her approval.
Oh, you got
Okay,
approval.
cool.
Okay.
I was like, you're right, clarify is the wrong word. And I always correct my wife and children on using wrong words. But here I am on camera completely being... Okay. Yeah, I completely got her blessing and
That's cool.
told her the whole thing, which she's the sweetest lady, as you can imagine.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure.
supports it. And but yeah, no, we don't do like every show, like it's not like about him in an obsessive, scary way, right, guys? Although there are
He
times,
says with a pillow.
there are times,
She's
dude,
like, I love you.
so
Angela, what are we doing today?
on the podcast, dude, yeah, my wife's like, why is he here? And like, we're all making love, like, who? And this Angelo Pillows right here. No, and like he there'll be times when Robert and I are riffing and I'll like put the mic up to Angelo's like mouth and like do a riff and be like, dear Lord, like something he would say if he was the third person on the podcast.
Nice.
But I don't have like a real doll body of his being sculpted right now for $6,000. We've been trying to raise the
That
money.
sounds so
We've been trying to
specific.
raise the money on the
Yes,
podcast.
a real doll.
Just a real doll.
So
he
you
could
want
be
to definitely want.
no, it doesn't have to be anatomically correct. They don't have enough silicone to make that man's penis. It took 3 coffins to bury him.
Really?
He's huge.
3 coffins.
Yeah. No, I just meant like
Okay.
propping him up on the couch next to us.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You could do like a wifu. You know what those are?
No, that
Those
sounds
are
weird.
Japanese like pillows
Oh yeah.
that people develop like emotional relationships to that like they marry eventually. They call them waifus.
They married the pillow?
They marry the pillows. They're based off like hentai and anime characters.
Interesting.
Like very like one of them, like a famous one is from that anime show Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
And
I'm not familiar, but yes.
yes,
I
yeah.
believe you that it exists.
Oh, we'll put it in post. But so you could do that with Angelo. You could just put it on a pillow,
I think my wife would be
like a
"All
bigger
right."
pillow, like a body pillow.
Yeah, that was the joke. But now I'm thinking, I was like, if I really did that, though, that'd actually be funny on the thing. But I could see Angela's mom being like, all right, John, that's a little too far. She's so sweet, but she'd be like, John, I'm glad you're keeping his memory alive, but that's a little too much.
That's a little too far.
We're worried about you, John.
But
She'd
what
drive
do you,
down here.
But so then, if you're not just talking about Angelo the whole time, what do you guys do on the podcast?
Dude, that's great. Sorry for derailing your question with constant talk about my friend saying, I'm not obsessed with my friend that I miss very much every day, all day. Well, we do quizzes.
Okay.
So it's like we'll riff in between stuff, but like we'll quiz each other. So most of my quizzes have been Disney related stuff because that like it's whatever I'm like super just like reading about or stoked on.
Okay, I love it. Well, if you have any quizzes that just pop in your head during the middle of this show, feel free to jump in.
Thank you.
But pop quiz for you. Do you know what this next segment is from this show?
This is the
Let's
arm
go ahead.
wrestling segment.
This
I know
is
it.
wrong. Answer is wrong.
Okay.
If this was the movie Speed, the bus would blow up, which it is. Next segment is called The Wild Things Happening in the World. Woo! All right, this is a wild story. Just a truly unhinged, fun, crazy stuff that's happening. Ooh, let me pull up this other.
Can I just say that I'm so honored that you had me on here, but I'm impressed by your level of like I'm my own Jamie.
Oh, thank you.
That's taking a lot to stay in the riff and use the keys like that. Dude.
Oh, I'm all about this shit. This is what I do every day, all day. All right, you ready for this wild ass story? Okay, so apparently a grand jury has recommended that a whole Alabama police department be abolished. ACAB, baby.
The grand jury sent down 9 findings and recommendations to the city of Hanceville, which include a rampant culture of corruption, abolishing the police department, and the death of a Hanceville dispatcher was the direct result of the Hanceville Police Department's negligence.
Okay, little sad. But
Yeah.
let's buckle up. I'm telling you, this is some bonkers shit. I saw this video online. Essentially, this very small police department has got into their own supply of evidence. And there's video evidence of them getting into the evidence. The the wild part about all of this is how they got into the evidence locker.
What's the evidence? Wait a second.
So like drugs.
Oh, okay.
They got into their own meth.
Okay, sorry. It takes me out.
Or I think it's fentanyl, actually.
The cops got into fentanyl?
Yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
These officers find themselves on the opposite.
Eric Kelso's that's Photoshop.
Okay.
That guy.
Very unfortunate looking fellows.
They look like characters in a Coen Brothers movie.
They look like what is it? Keystone Cops. This is like literally Keystone Cops. Very unfortunate, man.
William Shellnut's into drugs?
Cody Kelso. That's a cop name for sure.
Yeah, he's got dead eyes, dude. Look at him. If you cropped out just his eyes, you'd be like, he looks like Billie Eilish. But then you see the rest of him, you're like, he looks like a lumberjack that doesn't like other races.
Yeah.
What's Eric Kelso's story though? He's so sweaty. His forehead and the way his hair's over there, and he's got a
Did
Chris
he just
Farley.
get out of the shower?
He's
What's
got a
going
Chris
on?
Farley, but like a little bit goofier, and
He looks like a goon that is a cartoonish goon that you would hire. Like, hey, boss, you want me to go rough him up for their boss?
yeah, dude.
He's 5'9".
Oh, I just see the 3 inches. I was like, oh, he's 9 inches. That mother.
This guy's so short.
They didn't even put it in there.
They had to crop it in. All right, let's go.
End of the laws they were sworn to uphold.
5 officers, including the Hanceville police chief, arrested following an extensive probe into the department. Dispatcher Chris Willingham was found dead in his office in August. His cause of death was the toxic effects of fentanyl and other drugs. Crocker says Willingham had access to the evidence room.
I would just say that nothing was secure about the evidence room, and when Mr. Willingham was discovered, there was evidence in his office.
Crocker went into detail on how people had access to evidence.
That's how I look when I'm going into a doggy bag. Look at him.
This is a real fucking Pooh Bear situation.
Yeah, it is. That's a great reference, dude. I'm old enough to get that one. Although he does have pants.
Hey, boo boo. Okay, so a man did pass away, but it was from
a funny way that he died.
He overdosed off of drugs, stolen drugs, essentially, as we'll get into.
That's crazy. Yeah, full-grown man and fentanyl. Like, I see the ads for fentanyl. They send us the thing, at the schools, like, talk to your kids about fentanyl.
Oh, yeah?
It's like not a drug that you hear happy endings about.
Oh, definitely
that and
not.
meth, you're always just like, yeah, dude, it's not like weed where you're like, hey, I know a bunch of people that they seem to be all right. But meth,
that's the crazy part about it. People keep doing it, which tells me it's probably really good.
Yeah,
If
seriously.
people are just like, oh, I want to, like, you see a meth ad and you're like, that's fucked up. But then you like still do it. It's got to be so good.
You see 2 meth heads having sex and you're like, it must be a strong drug because
Yeah,
both
yeah.
of you are disgusting.
They're just levitating.
so dirty.
They're just like,
Do you happen to have any fentanyl right now?
I do. I'm on it.
Just for the show.
I'm actually on it, and so are you.
You're
We're not even filming.
multitasking? Oh, dude, I sometimes do think, I'm like, is this still that one mushroom chip from like 15 years ago?
Oh,
Is it
gosh.
like, yeah, so like,
Ugh.
thanks for bringing that up right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Live
okay,
on the podcast,
so
John
what-
loses his existential mind.
So what we're seeing, by the way, is we're seeing a man. I'm assuming it's one of the Codys, in a closet, just kind of hunched over some boxes, poking into a wall like Pooh Bear in a fucking hole for honey.
Evidence. It was through this hole in the wall. He says people would use the broomstick to jiggle the door open.
This individual who had the stick is actually
It's got his full ass head in the hole.
Oh, that's what I'm seeing is his head's through that hole in the wall.
Yes.
Imagine being that bored at your job. You're like, I'll just do some fentanyl. That's how much jobs suck, dude. AI should have taken over already. Oh my God.
My job sucks so much I want to get addicted to fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
To cure boredom at work.
I thought that like a grain of sand worth of fentanyl can kill you. So it's like, well, then how are you doing a line of that? Wouldn't it fall off your finger before you?
This must be some weak ass Alabama shit.
Just like your barbecue, motherfucker.
Oh!
Texas barbecue all the way. Go on.
sticking his head and upper body into the hole.
Crocker says evidence tampered with includes cases in Hanceville Municipal Court and in state court.
I am not optimistic about the ability to prosecute cases with tampered evidence.
So yeah, this is the unfortunate part about all of this, is that when a whole ass police department gets abolished, or gets, caught doing this stuff, literally with their hand in the cookie jar, in the fentanyl jar, everything they've ever touched, metaphorically, has that stain of they could have been tampered with while they were on fentanyl, or just like they could have used evidence. They could have tampered with it, with the evidence involved in it. It's completely
Is there like a bigger picture thing where like a conspiracy where someone put them up to getting them addicted to fentanyl so that they could get like whatever fentanyl connection is connected to that man?
Oh, it's
right there.
It's a psyop. So
isn't this like the end of like one of those movies where it's like, and then he's up giving the speech and the public buys it and then the credits come up and you're like, what just happened?
It's
Was
a house
justice?
It's like a House of Cards
I
sort
never
of thing.
saw it, but yes. Last Kevin Spacey thing I saw was American Beauty, and it was great, but that was it.
That's a good one for him to.
It's a good end, right?
Yeah, because I think he kills himself, and that's what you want.
Does he kill himself in that?
No,
he
wait.
gets killed.
Oh, which is even
spoiler
better.
alert.
Even better.
He gets killed.
Even better.
But
also wild that he keeps coming back making videos. Kevin, we don't want you, man.
He was on the Peter Attia podcast. Like Peter Attia had him on, who's an awesome like doctor dude. Had him on and was like, the whole episode. I didn't watch it because I don't have time to get into weird news shit. You know, I'm too busy listening to Led Zeppelin. Damn it! But like, there was like a whole thing about like how like there was like no actual evidence against him. And with how weird shit is, I mean, you're more into the news than I am. Like maybe I just kind of look at it like, well, we're all God's children. I gotta go. I'm gonna go get a hoagie sandwich.
I do value. Yeah, get a hoagie sandwich. I do value that about you, is that you just, you know what? Hey, it'll happen how it happens. But no, there's more of things where he'll dress. You probably, if you have ever watched House of Cards, Kevin Spacey would dress up. Since his allegations, he's done it twice, where he would dress up as his character from House of Cards, which involves speaking of Alabama, a whole Georgia accent.
Like it's snapping into character.
Get into
like
character.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. It'd be like, well, look who's at it again. You're never gonna get me because I'm untouchable. You're never gonna get me.
He's like taunting.
He's like on his YouTube channel, like, you try to take me down, but I only get stronger. Like he's trying. It's so weird, dude. It's so weird. It's so weird.
That's what it takes to good art. We were just joking about Kanye. Like you gotta have like, you're like, oh, are you crazy? Are you Hitler crazy?
the crazy.
Okay, you're probably gonna make some cool shit.
We were talking about this too, but the idea of like, he hired a full ass film crew for this. Like somebody got hired to do that gig.
Yeah.
And somebody got hired to edit it.
Yeah.
And somebody wrote a script for it. I'm sure he didn't write that script. Like there was a DP, there was a sound guy. Like enough people were in this room being like, holy fuck, this is crazy.
Are you the boom guy right now?
Holy fuck.
Just holding the boom. You're like, can't believe Kevin's. God, he's actually still got it.
God damn. Oh, I hope he does Walken. He does a great Christopher Walken. Oh, maybe slips into that real quick.
Just tell me you wouldn't take the gig though. You're like, oh, dude, how much to direct that?
No.
Yeah, dude, I'll get on a plane.
I would not take the gig.
I can hold my own against Kevin.
Oh, so crazy. But anyways, yeah, maybe this is a conspiracy theory for that.
Look at those guys. They look like they're both guilty of something major.
Yeah.
Don't they?
I mean, all politicians are guilty of something.
What was that great show with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, True Detective?
Oh, yeah.
Don't they look like they'd be characters in True Detective? Like, you guys are in the cult.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Maybe, you're right. Maybe
see both of them in some weird, like.
Maybe they're part of it. Oh, okay, here's the thing. Maybe this police department was trying to uncover some sort of secret trafficking scheme, but then they discovered that fentanyl tastes really good, and they got distracted.
If that wasn't a fentanyl hole, but it was a glory hole, do you think we'd still know about it? Alabama Police Department about to be shut down because the guy in the break room kept through the wall. A sucking. Good old Alabama sucking.
Hey, they called a come and go for a reason.
They do like white barbecue sauce. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They do.
That's disgusting.
Well, so is most of the way the world works. Cheers.
Have you ever, John, or can I call you Tom? It's fine.
You can call me Tom. In honor of the great Ralphie May. Did I mention I knew him?
Have you ever been arrested?
Thank God. I've never been booked.
You've never been booked.
But I mean, I grew up in the suburbs, so I've been driven home by the cops a lot.
What?
Dude, the cops were so nice when I grew up.
What the? What are you talking about?
I grew up in an area that like was like Cowtown, and like, dude, we got busted for like, I
Where
got
you
busted
from?
for graffitiing Boba Fett once on a like with paint on a park table with a bunch of friends doing graffiti while wearing a Vandals shirt. You know the band, the Vandals.
Yeah.
And there was
You
like
were
literally
wearing a Vandal shirt while vandalizing?
literally, and it wasn't something that I had planned, but literally like while we were all sitting on the curb being like told by the cops all the bad stuff that was going to happen, one of the cops like looked at me and went, "Vandals, huh?"
A little on the nose.
I still remember to this day. I was like, dude, cops have some of them have some funny sense of humor.
They
dude.
do. No,
The way he said Vandals, huh? Like, and I'm like, we both chuckled. And then, again, that was all the time that like they taught us lessons. They made us go get stuff. We had to clean up the shit together while we were supervised like a chain gang, and then like drive you home, or like, and you're like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, it was like a nice time to be a kid getting into trouble. I don't know what it's like now.
Right.
It's probably like Dubai rules or something like that. They cut your toe off or something if you
They're-
graffiti.
Or your dick. Yeah. Either
Or your
one.
dick. Oh my God. Are there any societies, are there any cultures that do that? Like right now, like, oh, you think you can graffiti with a dick? Is that a thing? What are they,
Well, I'm assuming like so many dicks are drawn, right?
yeah.
They're cutting their model off.
Oh my God. Oh my, yeah. The judge is like really creepy. He's like, I figure the only way to get you to stop drawing one is to take that thing off your mind.
Yeah.
And the gavel comes down, but it's somebody else's dick. It's all smacking, all sloppy on the thing. Slap, 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 slap. You're
Oh.
like, oh my God, what is that, sir?
I one time got chased by the police.
In a
because-
car or like running on foot?
Running.
Nice. Punk rock.
Pretty punk rock. We were in a parking lot being rambunctious kids drinking. And this was a crazy one. I was watching my crush give, you were talking about your name, TomaShefsky. What was the name? What was the joke about your name, TomaShefsky?
When you were asking how to pronounce it.
Yeah, how to pronounce it.
Was that on the air?
No.
Oh yeah, if you're trying to remember my last name, just imagine a tomato, a chef, and going skiing, sitting between two dudes, jacking them off in Europe at
Gotcha.
a movie theater.
I was watching my crush do a TomaShefsky on two guys
In real life?
in real life.
Oh, this is hot.
Yeah.
This starts with that and ends with the cops chasing you. This is a fucking awesome story. This is
It was-
better than any of my stories.
I was watching that, and then a cops rolled through, and then I booked it out of there. And what it ended up happening, a friend came to pick us up, all this crazy shit. I had to pretend like I wasn't there originally. My friends got caught.
Yeah.
And then I had to roll through and had to, we'll get them. And they kind of let us pass too.
Yeah.
But I was the only Mexican kid there. So like, I was afraid, like, I don't know, though I passed, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You said you pass?
I pass as white, I guess, sometimes. Those, these days I can always tell there's a Republican in the White House because that's when I get searced at the airport.
You get searched a lot more.
I get searched a lot more at the airport. Hey, I see your eyebrows, sir. Back in the line. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so
You have great eyebrows, dude, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, dude. Those
Oh,
are
I appreciate that.
excellent eyebrows.
I-
Eyebrow envy? Got a little bit of it. This guy, when he sweats, doesn't go into his eyes. Me, straight down.
Oh, really? Oh, is that a thing?
Dude, eyebrows, I think that's one of the evolutionary things about it. Is that like it
Really?
it helps protect you from the sun.
I thought it was just a thing to let people know you're mad.
No, dude. I think sharper eyebrows look evil and more villainous.
Yes.
And I think thicker eyebrows are like, look at that guy, dude. He probably gives good hugs. He's probably a warm, tender man with like a nice flannel.
Oh, you mean mine?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I think it's totally the reverse.
You think so?
It's like angry.
Oh, interesting.
Because like think of Angry Birds. They're like thick eyebrows.
The game or like the actual thing?
Both.
Okay. Oh, we're talking about that red bird that's got the
it's
angry
just like
eyebrows?
angry, yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
anyway,
dude, you're right. You win. And because you're so intimidating with those giant lawns you have to mow over your forehead, I will agree with whatever you say, sir.
yes, exactly. But so shout out to cops, and I guess this place got ACAB'd for sure. But not all police are bad, I guess. But these
Hashtag not all police are bad. Put that on a shirt.
But they were looking for a thin blue line, but they were looking for
But
a thin
all they
white
found
line.
was a little, that's right. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
All right. So let's move on to another wild thing happening in the world. This is a wild video. You believe in ghosts, John?
No, but I'm terrified of them.
Really?
Does that make sense?
You ever really? You're terrified of, but you don't believe in
scary
them.
are scary, dude.
Okay, expand on that. What do you mean? You're and that I'm not challenging you. Just explain that a little bit. What do you mean by that?
I don't necessarily believe or not believe in certain stuff, but I'm just like anything's possible, and scary stuff is scary. Like,
Yes.
So like ghosts, like if people say
Okay.
like this house is haunted and someone was murdered here, like
You
I'm
were
like,
100. Okay, I
dude,
believe you.
Yeah, I'm spooked out. In fact, in Chino Hills, there's all these urban legends of different places. There was the Kevin Cooper murders. There's a house. Do you know that?
Kevin Cooper.
Yeah.
It sounds like, am I supposed to know that name?
Oh, it's a real murder that happened like in the 70s. There was a prison, and there's like all this debate about if this is the actual murder, or if it was a group of dudes or whatever. So that's one of the things. But then we have Aerojet, which is like a whole area that like we think is like, it's like got urban legends of being like a missile test ground with a bunch of arsenic and weird stuff in the water. We have Carbon Canyon, which has like some weird culty like stuff in there too.
Wild. But there's lots of scary shit out that way.
There's stuff. Yeah, it's like, it's the kind of place where there's good
I feel
like
the
eerie
suburbs
Indiana legends.
The suburbs is ripe for scariness.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's like too good to be true sometimes. So people want to like, there's got to be underlying some terror there.
Anywhere where there's meth, there's like somebody that's like, oh, someone that does a brutal murder.
Yeah, you don't need to like make up you don't need to make up like ghost stories when it's like, yeah, somebody got stabbed in front of my house. I don't need ghosts on top of this as well.
Are you talking about in the city?
Yeah.
Totally. I got a horror story. I've been chasing my dreams and I'm in my 70s and I got a roommate. Yeah, it's a lot different.
I got a horror story. My landlord keeps raising my rent.
That's right. They're closing the whiskey so they can put a CVS in. That's my horror story. No, it's the suburbs is terrifying.
All right, this video has like 43 million views.
Oh, dude. Can I open for you, whoever made this? You need a feature? That's all I see when people talk about views. I'll be like, oh, dude, they get to headline. That's a headline view count. Nice.
All right, here we go. All right. So what we're seeing here, before we get into this, is a stairway looking down and what appears to be some sort of Elmo balloon. and I think
German Shepherd?
Yeah, I think that's a stuffed dog. I think it's a stuffed.
Pardon my bad vision. You're like,
no, I think it is.
That's a pile of laundry, young man.
I've seen the video before. Yeah. No, that's a whole child. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this Elmo thing just fully walked backwards, did a 90-degree turn, and is now walking up the stairs.
If I was Neil deGrasse Tyson, I would just be like, it's a coincidence. It's very possible to be a coincidence. The amount of things that are going on in this universe. That's just, okay, the feet moving is... this thing is strung up. It's probably AI.
It's moving its damn feet. It's moving its damn feet. Holy shit. This is crazy.
Elmo comes up the stairs. Tickle me. Ha ha ha. Don't,
I'm going to tickle you.
don't pop me.
Or oh God. Okay.
And the light turned off at the end.
That. Fuck that. I don't believe in ghosts, but I don't know what the that was. That.
Oh shit. But the way the light turned off, it
flickered.
It flickered, died. It
yeah,
wasn't
I just
like
had hair stand up on the back of my neck.
I got that
balloon
too, actually.
Video.
And I don't.
Why'd you do this to me?
Ooh!
You gotta talk about police departments getting shut down, and now this.
Ooh. So this is posted by Happy Rainus. Sounds like Happy Anus to me.
Not gonna argue that point.
So
Happy Rainus.
this is interesting.
Happy Ramadan.
So
Today's the second night of Ramadan.
oh, is it?
I think so.
Okay.
Second or third. Oh, I guess when this is released, I won't know what night of Ramadan it is. But you said Happy Rainus, so I was gonna say Happy Ramadan.
When this is released, it will be fully Ramadan.
You know, it's just Ramadan on me. I'm just. That's a good one, dude.
That's a good one.
It's just Ramadan on
It's just
me.
Ramadan on me.
But seriously, why are you showing? This is terrifying. That's so weird.
Okay, it's terrifying. Okay. So this is speaking of Happy Rainus. So there's more videos. This is a whole series. Like I said, this has 37 million views. No, 59 million views. These people are rich.
Oh, do they get money from that?
Oh yeah, it's over a minute. They are rich as.
Where do they get money from? On TikTok?
On TikTok, yeah. So like you get a penny for every view past 1,000.
Really?
Yeah. So you get
No way.
They're like that's like $600,000 or some shit like that. Here's another video.
So they got millions of dollars from that?
Thousands for sure.
Yeah, I'm not good at math, but penny for every thought after. Oh my God, dude. This is so scary. I'm glad that we're in a really cheery atmosphere here, because if we were in a scary, spooky podcast studio, which they do exist,
They do.
I
they
would
do.
not be stoked watching this.
Yeah,
This is terrifying.
Yeah, any studio Joe Rogan's in. So, hey, what's going on with? He just
Does he snort a lot?
Yeah,
He has worse than sleep apnea. He has waking apnea.
So what we're seeing is this is a video of somebody going down the stairs. The basement is creepy as.
I actually knew someone that lived in Carbon Canyon, and their house was built in the 1800s, and a boy drowned in the bathtub, and that was boarded up in that bathtub. It was a modern house now, but it was like an old house. And they used to tell me about all these ghost stories, and I hung out at the house with them like once or twice because a couple other friends were, but I was always like, never. As a teenage boy, you'd think I'd have the testosterone. I was terrified of being alone in any room in that house.
Are you kidding me? I would never. Are you, as a teenage boy, especially because it's like your brain is so like anything is possible.
Oh, yeah.
I could get laid tomorrow. I could die right now. Like yeah.
I have both of those thoughts today, though, too.
Yeah, but one is more likely, the dying.
Oh, dude!
So we're watching them go through this very broken down basement.
Yeah, that is not up to permit.
So far, nothing. Hey, the ghost comes out like, hey, you guys got to get this up to go.
It's a code enforcement ghost.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say this. I was excited to share this story with you because there was a lot more videos on this page.
Yeah.
The whole family was doing a lot more content around this ghost. There was more videos on this thing. They were doing experiments.
Are you serious?
Yes. They took them all down recently. I don't know what's going on.
So they like made a bunch of money and all this stuff, and then took the ghost stuff down.
They took it down.
The hair standing up again. You should talk to my friend Kamel, because Kamel's the guy that loves horror movies. I'm terrified of this stuff.
Really?
Like just talking about it. Like I don't even watch horror movies. I go and
I don't believe in them, but I'm scared.
oh, they're so scary.
Yeah.
I said I don't believe in them, and I don't not believe in them. I'm just that's terrifying. Is it just me? Is it our listeners? Is everybody else? I wish people could chime in right now. Isn't this terrifying?
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. I don't trust anything I see on the internet. You know what I mean?
That's what I tell my kids.
You literally said it was AI, but then you saw the light. I mean, it's like a magic trick, right?
Well, the realm that we're in is all possibly AI. So even the scary stuff that happens in here, I still feel
this technically could be AI. You and me talking right now. Technically
feels solid, but what's an atom and a particle anyways?
Yeah,
right?
I'm literally an atom.
Oh my God. This is too weird. There's a glitch in the Matrix. Call the Oracle.
But anyways, so there was a lot more. There was a lot more videos of them running experiments and stuff like that. That's when it seemed less real. Okay. That's why I don't feel as safe or I don't feel scared so much.
Yeah.
Because it seemed very much like they were doing some fake documentary shit. It seemed like they were cast. There's a video on this I really want to show you where the house looked like it. They looked like they were filming in the Czech Republic. It was like they panned. They saw their child was in the video.
Yeah.
Which maybe I was thinking maybe that's why they took it down. For like benefit of the doubt that this is real. They may have taken down these videos because their kid was featured in it, and they don't want to necessarily feature the kid. Totally understandable. Totally get that, because 60 million views is a shitload of views. To have your kid blown up on the internet, that could affect their child.
Yeah, we were talking about fame earlier. It's like your kid doesn't necessarily have the mental capacity to decide that.
Yeah, they show up to school and all they get is Elmo balloons all day. Like, terrifying.
I mean, it depends how old you are. You might be like, sweet. Like, then that's how I started collecting Elmo balloons.
It's true. It's like, and like the kid just wants to it's like more of a Big Bird fan.
That is a shame if that happened. Like, man, that's what he's talking about with his therapist later in life. Like, the ironic thing is I'm a Cookie Monster guy. Like, so that's why I think I smoke drugs. Yeah.
What even is Elmo?
Yeah.
Fucking watch Bluey.
I'm not like a red guy. Like, if I have to pick a primary, I'm going to pick blue. So, like, it's red's so intense.
Yeah.
The Cookie Monster was so chill, and I like cookies, and Elmo doesn't really bring stuff to the party.
But,
you know what I mean?
I mean, those things are so terrifying. I mean, yeah, it's this is why obviously it's fake. It's like the idea of why Elmo balloon, like there's a demon possessed.
The light going off was scary though. That really settles it. Where you're like, it's good, scary Blair Witch Project level.
That was good production.
What was that other scary movie? There's Blair Witch Project, and there was one that happened years later. It started with a P, I think, but it was Paranormal.
Oh, this was it seemed very paranormal activity.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
So you say you've never been haunted before, right?
Well, that I know of. I mean,
We've all been. You all could be haunted, right?
I mean, I always
I know
imagine
of.
like, what if you die and you can like choose to like just be like a invisible orb floating around looking at stuff?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Checking on your friends.
You could be
peeking on them while they're rubbing one out.
Is that what you would do? Is that what you would do?
Probably once or twice, just to like
Just to see. What would you do if you had the opportunity to be a ghost? What's the first thing you would do?
I mean, I'm thinking of funny stuff right now, but honestly,
No.
probably sentimental stuff, dude. Probably visiting loved ones.
Okay. Well,
But like, what's that even like? You don't have eyes. You're like a ghost. You're floating around, or you're like
Well,
are you a physical form that can
let's
cry?
imagine you're like a Casper form of ghost.
God, probably like the Norwegian volleyball team. I go just be like, "Where's the locker room?" And you'd be like I'd sure love to rub one out, but I'm just a Casper. I just look like a penis under a napkin. Like, yeah, you can't even rub one out. It's still, yeah, I don't even know, dude. I honestly think, I don't think I would do anything funny. I think I would just be sentimental, and then I would just probably like try to make friends with like an eagle and fly around a bunch.
You make friends with an eagle.
Like some sort of birds. I'd be like, you guys want to, like, what do you guys do? You fly?
Other things that you would like learn how to fly with the things that fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know how long that lasts before you're like bored. You're like, all right, I
But
flew a bunch.
would
for
you
a
ever?
couple-
I don't know if I would. I think immediately, aside from like the morning part, I think that would, that would be a good chunk of it, right? Like, there's only so much mourning. Like, like they're gonna eventually move on.
Maybe
right?
they'll be here soon. Shit, hey, save a spot for them. Are there other ghosts? Or is it just you by yourself on Earth? And you're like,
Let's imagine
Lonely.
every now and then you see a ghost, but they don't want to talk to you because it's just like it's fucked up.
yeah,
But then like, so you gotta figure out something to do. I think what I would do is I would try to go into places that you're not allowed to go to in normally.
NORAD.
Yeah, like what are they doing in there? Like what's going on in like the bottom of the Pentagon? You know, like really what's going on? Like, and then I would figure out a way to like tell people about it. Like really just being like, guys, it's fine. These guys are idiots. They don't know what they're doing. It's actually
That'll make people feel better.
yeah. Like, but all I could do is just move a cup.
Oh yeah.
Or all I could do is just I can haunt an Elmo. That's all we could do. Like, imagine this ghost knows all the secrets. He's been around for like 1,000 years.
I'd
He
strum
knows
their
all.
guitars.
He knows all the secrets.
Yeah.
But the most he could do is just like slightly walk up the stairs with an Elmo.
That's why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's why the whole thing doesn't make sense. Where you're like, I can see if like a spirit would like pop into another realm, like we
Yeah.
would pop into another portal through a door.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Target right now to get another toothbrush.
Yeah.
Like a spirit would be like, I'm gonna go into a physical form real quick into that thing.
Yes.
But to do what? Like the movie Ghosts, for example. Like
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze had like stuff it had to do so that it could be rest
Move
in
on.
peace and
Yeah,
move on.
yeah.
And so you're like, okay, like it actually had like more rules upon it by the laws
Right.
of existence.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, God, like if I died and I had more rules, which I'm terrified of, right? I don't want nothing to happen, but I'm also just
Right.
like, more fucking rules to learn? Like I'll be so sad if I die and there's more rules to learn.
Yes.
But I also don't want there to be nothingness. That sounds depressing too.
Exactly.
Because you're not there.
Who knows?
And I love being alive.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I do.
What happens?
But anyways,
What if we die together? What are we gonna do?
what are we gonna do if we
Yeah.
die together?
Rent
Definitely
a
go.
Cadillac.
Well, you'll be Bert. I'll be Ernie. We find some balloons.
Oh, dude. Just find that's our job. Hashtag find a balloon.
Find a balloon. I just shout out to these people. I hope they popped a balloon. Okay, real scenario.
Yes.
You are with your family.
Yep.
You come back from you have 2
This
kids.
is already spooky. Thought it'd be a fun one. You're with your family. There's one sandwich. All 4 of you want it.
You come back from a birthday party. Your kid just has a bluey balloon.
Yep.
And is walking into the house.
And the blue balloon.
Is walking down the hallway towards you.
Yeah.
You're filming it, obviously.
Of course.
Comes walking to you. How do you react? What do you do? Speed. Pop quiz. Speed. What do you do?
Film it. Tell my kids, be like, hey, who's doing that?
Yeah, hopefully I filmed this and I can open up for it later when it gets 60 million views. Truthfully.
Maybe start talking in an Australian accent to it. Bingo.
This is how you be a good father, man.
That's right. Peppa, what are you doing over there?
I don't
They
know.
start talking back. Hi.
Dude, this is scary. Yeah. I don't know, dude.
You immediately try to go find some fucking scissors and
Stab it?
stab this thing?
Well, if it's alive, I don't want to hurt the thing, unless it's actually dangerous. If you've seen from this video, it's annoying at times because you're like, all
That's
right.
also another question. Why most balloons I know, they last like a day.
I know a lot of balloons, by the way, not to name drop, but I'm friends with a few balloons.
Ralphie May.
A few big balloons. Actually, a Ralphie balloon for the Macy's Day Thanksgiving parade would be awesome. He deserves it.
He does deserve it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd pop it. I don't know. I mean, like, there's definitely like if I see red and I'm like, and no rumps to that. Like if I see red where I'm just like, I got to do something real quick. Yeah, I'll do whatever the hell I have to do. I definitely will snap into like, I have to kill right now mode. If like, okay, this balloon is not coming into my house. What do they say? Like
Not my house.
you stand your ground.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you know what takes out a balloon? A fucking buckshot. But yeah, I don't know if I think the awe of seeing a balloon coming, unless it was holding something that I thought was dangerous.
Yes.
I don't know if I would pop the balloon real
Okay.
quick.
It's holding a gun.
A balloon holding a gun? Well, first off, I pull my sidearm out. I'm like, balloon! With the laser sight on the balloon. Stop! Please don't come any further. If you come further, I will consider that a threat. But then you shoot the balloon and it's like the T-1000. It just goes through it, but the balloon keeps floating. You're like, you're out of
seals
air.
itself.
Oh,
It
dude,
seals
if it seals itself. That's the thing. It's
Or
like,
it moves slightly out of the way.
is a ghost an apparition? Is it a lost soul? Or is it possibly something from another dimension or but the future?
I think what they're positing as this is a demon.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's no longer ghosts. When
It's
it's
a demon.
evil, it's a demon. It's
Okay.
being possessed.
Ugh,
So you're shooting a demon.
There's a whole like chart, like a biological chart for non-biological beings. And
Yes.
you're like, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
ghost. That's a demon.
That's a demon. This is Beelzebub.
That's the devil, though,
That's
right?
Saint.
Beelzebub?
No, I don't know.
I think Beelzebub is.
I don't know. I find that shit extremely fascinating.
Do you feel? What do you think it is? Wait,
This-
did I already ask you? Like,
What?
Yeah. What do you actually think that is? Like, okay, this thing's not happening, but like, I know you've interacted with people that have been like, oh yeah, like I saw a ghost, or there's a ghost that used to visit me when I was a kid. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But like people that like actually talk about it as an adult, like they were like, oh, I've interacted with a ghost. Like people, Willie Hunter used to say, because he used to stay at the Comedy Store.
Oh, right.
He used to say like,
that's
oh yeah, dude,
it's
I've
haunted.
seen ghosts at the Comedy Store. I was like, huh?
Yeah,
I wouldn't stay there. That's scary.
I
dude.
think people just they hear things.
Yeah.
They see shadows.
Yeah.
Sometimes could be a quickening of the pace. That could be making stuff up in your mind. That said, I've had 2 ghost experiences. They seemed very real to me, and I cannot explain them.
What?
Yeah. So
Okay, should we go into them, or are they going to scare me more?
One is
They didn't happen while you were fapping, did they? Don't ruin fapping.
So I was with my crush. She was jerking off 2 guys again. And
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, I was like,
No.
dude.
I was actually I was with a girl. Okay, I've told this story multiple times on
Yeah.
the show, so I'll make it quick. I was with a girl. She had a roommate, and she was like, "Ugh, Johnny's here." Johnny's here. He's being annoying again. I was like, "Who's Johnny?" And he's like, "Oh, that's our ghost." I was like, "What?" And it's like, "Yeah, we have a ghost in the house. Our apartment is haunted by a ghost." I was like, "Yeah, bullshit." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And they were like, "No, you want to talk to him?" And so I was like, "Yeah, sure, sure." We bust out a Ouija board.
Oh God, you're making me like, oh.
So, anyways, we talked to him on a Ouija board. He ended up saying he had a bunch of information. He knew a bunch of information about me that there's no way these women knew about.
Seriously?
Yes.
You're
And
sure about that?
my middle name, my address, and all this stuff.
Could they have Googled that and then they're like, when he gets here, we're gonna do this?
So no, they couldn't have, because this was I was like 19, 20 years old. So like not hard Google. My stuff was not on the internet. This is like MySpace days.
Are you in your 30s?
I'm in my 30s.
Yeah,
So
okay.
MySpace days, not Facebook,
Okay.
not Instagram. So my shit was not out there like that.
They couldn't have called someone be like, we're gonna
So-
do this elaborate prank.
So
You know how girls are.
yeah, they're the classic
They're
pranksters.
Clever and pranksters.
They were like, Johnny, do you want you want Adam to leave? They're like, yes. He was like, yes. And they're like, you gotta go. And as I was getting up, I see that my driver's license is underneath my chair. And all of the information that was being asked and told was also on my driver's license, like my address
Okay.
and my middle name. So It could have been an elaborate prank that they never told me about and never said anything about.
Fist bump to the elaborate prankers. That's good.
And I've now told multiple times on multiple podcasts.
But you're not famous, so they haven't even heard the story yet. Go on.
But I've now told on bigger podcasts than me.
Okay.
Famously cock blocked by a ghost is the name of the story. But I've now told they've never, or it could have just been a ghost. That sort of thing.
That was one experience.
That's
right?
one experience. Another one involved a guitar pick.
A different ghost, though.
A different ghost, different house.
And a guitar pick.
Yeah. Pretty crazy shit.
The pick of destiny, do you call it?
Yes. But speaking of destiny, it is our destiny to move on to our final segment of this show here.
The final segment.
It's called The Wild Wheel. We haven't done this in a while.
Wild Wheel.
All right. So this is a fun one. We're slightly changing it up a little bit. Okay, so the point of this is I've decided I don't want to decide my own last segment. I want the will of the wildness to decide it. So it is we're deciding it by the wild wheel.
That's a Ouija board, right?
Spirit.
What would you like to pick here?
So you will spin this wheel. We have multiple segments that are on this wheel, and wherever lands, we will play these games that are on there. Go ahead.
This is fun. I want to see how hard I gotta swing to get.
It's
dinger.
Yeah. Put some heat in this. Put
a little chihuahua pepper there.
Put some shoulder into that. There you go. Wild guess. Oh boy.
Sponsored by Guess Jeans.
This is one of my favorites.
Okay.
All right. So the point of this game is where we say a word. You and I say a word. And we have to eventually say the same word.
Okay.
So an otherwise name called mind melt. So I say, we're going to count to 3. We're both going to say a word.
Okay.
And then once we say that word, we try to find the middle ground of that word.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
Ready? So we'll count together.
And you say whatever word comes to mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, mustard. Car and mustard. Car and mustard.
So now what does that mean? Now what's the next step here?
The next step now is trying to find a word that brings those two words together.
Okay.
That we have to both guess. So we have to try to guess and read each other's mind.
Okay.
And guess what would be the middle ground of that word. So car and mustard.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, bug.
Carmen.
And bug. Carmen and bug. Okay, cool.
So how did car mustard equal bug?
I was thinking of like the Volkswagen bug.
Okay. But how does mustard fit into that?
Like a yellow bug.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1, movie. Windshield and movie.
Windshield and movie.
Okay. Okay. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is fun. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
driving.
Driving and speed.
Driving and speed. All right.
Driving and speed. Okay, here we go. All right. 3, 2, 1, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah!
That counts.
Yeah! We did it.
We fucking did it.
That was fun.
That's super good.
Oh,
Super fun.
dude.
Super fun game. All right, one more. We're gonna spin it. Here we go. Wild Flowers.
Oh, dude. One of my favorite albums of all time, dude.
By Tom Petty.
That's right.
There it is.
Oh my God, it's an amazing album.
I actually met Rick Rubin last year.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Pretty crazy times. All right.
That's awesome.
So
Was he cool?
One of the coolest dudes ever.
I love his book, The Creative Act. Like, oh my God. I listened to Tetragrammaton. Oh my God.
He's one of the most coolest dudes ever. Okay.
He talks about Tom Petty a bunch on the podcast too.
Yes.
You probably listened to it.
Yes.
You met him.
Yeah, I mean.
Did you tell him I said hi?
I did actually.
Like,
I was
Shefsky says hi, Ruben, Rick.
My friend Tom said hi.
That's right. And he's like, Tom, is that guy who always talks about Ralphie May? I'm like, no, Rick, it's me, Rick.
Okay, so Wildflowers, this is a new version of this segment.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something, and I want you to give this person their flowers. I want you to find a reason to compliment them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to show you something right now. This is a person. This is another podcast called The Untethered Mind that we're gonna watch a quick video of theirs real quick, and I want you to just give them some compliments.
Okay.
I'm about to expose exactly why the tax system in America is a sham. If you didn't know, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are heading up the Department of Government Efficiency, and these are 10 things on the list to cut. Number 1 is the National Bubble Wrap Stress Relief Study, which we are contributing $1.4 million a year to. It gets worse. The Bureau of Mailbox Feng Shui, $900,000 every year. Third is the Federal Balloon Animal Training Academy, which is costing taxpayers $2.3 million per year. Basically teaching clowns how to fold balloon animals. This is where it starts to sound like satire, and I promise you it isn't. The National Pretzel Untwisting Initiative. Excuse me? $600,000 per year. Of course, we all want to know where our missing socks go, but do we really need a government coordination for the Department of Sock Pairing that's costing us $1.8 million per year? The Federal High Five Coordination Bureau to make sure that we're high-fiving correctly, $1.2 million per year. The National Ice Cream Cone Structural Integrity Lab, $700,000 a year to try and figure out why ice cream cones leak. We have the Office of Puddle Depth Measurement, which costs us $3 million per year in order to study how much rainwater is being wasted in places like puddles. 9th on the list is the Bureau of Alarm Clock Testing to see just how annoying our alarm clocks need to be in order for us to wake up. They're wasting $1.5 million per year on this. And lastly, the Federal Glitter Cleanup Task Force, $2 million per year. We don't even know what glitter is, but there's a cleanup task force for it. Explain that to me, please.
Glitter's actually terrible for the environment, by the way. They should be cleaning up. It's actually, like, marine biologists have been begging us to stop using it. Anyways, go on.
The microplastics.
Like, why not? I don't even like it eating. Anyways. Like, okay, go on. What the hell is this? What's going on here? What does Hunter Thompson say? What's next?
100%. This woman saw a fake tweet from a fake Elon account and
ran with it. This is the internet.
This is the internet.
This is why I don't pay attention to the news, because you're like, that was presented pretty real.
Yeah. No, and it was presented real because
she thinks it's real.
She thinks it's real.
Do you think she truly thinks it's real? Or is she like a weird religious leader where it's like, they know what's going on?
No,
they know what they're doing.
This Untethered, I looked it up. This is not a satire account, as far as I know. This other Untethered Mind podcast, they love, I mean, it's untethered for sure. There's nothing based in reality here. They are
nothing's tethered about this.
They're looser than that Elmo balloon. That's for damn sure. The Elmo balloon's like, hey, come back to Earth here. But
she's a comic, right?
She's a hilarious comic.
She's doing well.
She's
got a spot at the Improv Lab tomorrow at the Hollywood Improv Lab.
I love that she's in the lab. She's in
Untethered and Friends. You're gonna love her.
She's in development for sure. So John, please give this woman her flowers.
I'll give you the same flowers that I would give anyone that kind of spews some crazy stuff, but I can tell it's coming from a nice place. I can tell that you don't want government spending to be wasted, and you're sick of being lied to. So is that what we're doing? Or does it have to be something else, like something more shallow? Like, those are great glasses. I don't know how you could hold up those frames. That would give me a headache.
I would say
not you.
I love that your brain cannot fathom the idea of how Google works. I love that about you.
Oh, you're giving her a backhanded. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Is backhand it?
You could do it that way too.
I love that you're hot enough that you're clearly going to reproduce other gullible beings. She's the hot chick. And I'm like, yep, hot nerdy chicks. That's totally my type. And I'm like, yep, hot nerdy chick. Like, some dude's going to cream pie you, and you're going to have 12. You're probably going to have one of those YouTube shows where you hunt for ghosts, and your kids are going to be nuts, and you're going to be nuts, and you're going to make probably only like $40,000 to $90,000 a week off of one of your channels.
Yeah, I love that, no matter how much damage you're going to do with this video, that your life is probably going to be totally fine.
Yeah, this will get shared with me.
Your life is going to be great regardless of this, even no matter how much damage you do with your misinformation. I love that. I love that for you.
You love that there's no justice there?
I love that. I love that there's no justice in this world.
I know this video is getting sent to me by one of my friends. I have friends in all different pockets of life. That will get sent to me, be like, check this shit out.
I love that one day you will one day be nominated to be head of some sort of government agency by Donald Trump. I love that. I love that about you.
She does very good work. Lots of research.
She's got an untethered mind.
Untethered mind. Oh, dude.
Which is very good.
The most untethered mind.
But anyways, we've come to the end of the show. John. I can call you John, right?
You call me John, Tom, asshole, anything you'd like.
As we mentioned before, you have a podcast called Road Dogs. Aside from that, where can people find you?
Oh, go on Instagram, Jonathan TomaShefsky. Go on Road Dogs, YouTube. We're up there. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously too, what about the live show? What you got anything?
Oh, dude, come out to Barney's in Pasadena. Every Wednesday night, we're there from 9 to about 11:30.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
And you tell the host, never light me.
It's one of my favorite things. Is when like a new host comes in and they light me up. I always look at them like, don't light me at my own show.
And they get all, oh.
And then I'm like, I'm just
the
riffing,
rest
dude.
of the comics have to be like, no, he literally does this every time.
Yeah, he's just riffing. It's cool. It's cool.
But
no, that place is my pride and joy. And it's
Yeah.
based on, it's inspired by and based on Angelo. So it has that vibe. Because Angelo and I used to do that show when Melissa McQueen, God bless her heart, used to run a show there.
Mhm.
And Pasadena's got this great feel to it because when you're in LA, if you're a comic in LA, it's not a development city. It's where you move after you got really good at
Right.
in Boston or New York, right?
Yes.
And we started here. Angelo and I are both from California. Like we didn't know better. We
Yeah.
started here.
Yeah.
So to develop, you'd want to go somewhere where there's actual blue collar workers that
Yes.
care. They're not industry people.
They're just normal people.
They're just normies.
Yeah.
And Pasadena is right outside of LA, and there's a nice mixture, probably 40 to 50% normies, if not more.
It's why I love doing that show every
Oh.
week because
Oh.
I love talking to. I get a chance to talk to real people and test my material in front of real people every Wednesday. And I honestly feel like it's made me stronger as far as a comedian.
Dude.
And just as a person, I get to lift them. I'm a pretty buff dude now, just in general because of the show.
He picks the people up.
I pick them up.
He does curls with little people. We have a couple little people that come to the show.
Yeah, it's a wild time. But John, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Dude, thanks for having me. This was such a blast.
Yeah, so fun. You can follow me at Adam R. Mack for weekly sketches, aforementioned stand-up clips, and you can follow this podcast at That Was Wild Pod on all the social medias. Hey, we're trying to get 60 million views, like the Elmo video, and try to get paid $600,000 eventually too. So that would be great. Also, it would be really great if you guys can leave a comment on this YouTube just to let the algorithm know, hey, you liked it. So give us a thumbs up. Let us know your favorite parts of it, all that good stuff. It really helps out the algorithm for the YouTube we're trying to grow here. It's not the same as normal social media. We're trying to expand minds here. That Was Wild. And that's what we're trying to do. So the more you help us out on the algorithm on the YouTube, the better we help this wild world become a little bit more wild. Anyways, John, we end the show this very special way. We look down the barrel of that camera and we say, that was wild. You ready to do this with me?
Oh, I'm ready.
So on the count of 3, we're going to say, that was wild. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
That was wild.